Hey guys, welcome back to my channel The Curious Palate. This is Veg. Today we are going to make momos from scratch along with the spicy momo chutney. We will make veg momos. You can always stuff it with a filling of your choice. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel or if this is your first time here, don't forget to click on that subscribe button. Without further ado, let's begin. Here's a quick look at the ingredients needed to make the dough for the momo wrappers. Take 2 cups of flour and add half a teaspoon of salt and give it a quick mix. Depending on the flour, the water needed might be more or less. So start adding water little by little, especially if you're not familiar with the flour. I have added half a cup of water. Mix it well with a spatula or a spoon. Once all the ingredients are almost combined, knead the dough well. We need to make a slightly stiff and smooth dough. Don't be tempted to add more water if you think the dough is too dry. Try kneading it well and bringing it together. If there is any difficulty in doing that, only then add more water. Once the dough is kneaded into a nice round ball, cover it with a cling wrap or a wet kitchen towel and let it rest for 10 to 15 minutes. Meanwhile, let's prepare the stuffing or filling for the momos. Take a look at the ingredients needed for it. You can choose any vegetable of your choice. Take a pan and add 2 tablespoons of oil. Once the oil is hot, add finely chopped garlic, ginger and green chilies. Saute them for a while until the raw smell goes away. Next, we add carrot, onion and cabbage and saute them for a while on high flame. We don't want to completely cook the vegetables as they will cook further while steaming. Add the capsicum and Ajinomoto and give it a quick mix. Ajinomoto is a completely optional ingredient. I like to add very little just to replicate the momos we eat outside. Turn the stove off and add the spring onions. Mix them well and set aside. The reason we are sauteing the vegetables is basically to try and control the moisture content of the fillings. If the filling has too much moisture content, it makes it very difficult to wrap the fillings. At the same time, we also want the filling to be nice and juicy. Since capsicum is very high in water content, it protects the filling from becoming too dry. Now that the filling is ready, let's check on the dough. See how smooth and soft it has become? Remove the cling wrap and knead it for a few more seconds. Spread very little dry flour on the countertop. Take a small portion of the dough and keep the rest covered again. Divide and make small balls of the dough and keep them covered. Take one dough ball and roll it lightly with the help of a rolling pin. We want the momo wrappers to be thinner on the edges. Let me show you how to do that. Hold one end of the wrapper in your left hand and with your right hand roll the rolling pin over the wrapper edge. Rotate the wrapper and repeat. Roll the wrapper to around 3 to 3.5 inches in diameter for a medium-sized momo. We can roll out a few wrappers and stuff them later on. But for that, you should keep the rolled out wrapper also covered and not let it dry. You could also spread them out on a cling wrapped plate and freeze it. Once it's frozen, place the wrappers in an airtight box and store them in the freezer until next use. These can last even up to a year frozen this way. The wrappers are now ready. Let's stuff them and make the momos. To the vegetable filling, lastly add salt and soy sauce and mix it well. We did not add these earlier as it will make the vegetables sweat and turn it soggy. so only add them just before you start stuffing the momos. Add some freshly ground pepper and mix them well. While there are many methods and techniques to fold a momo wrapper, today we will make a two-sided moon fold momo. Place around 1.5 tablespoons of the filling at the center of the wrapper. Take one end of the wrapper and stick it to the opposite end. Then slowly make a pleat just like how I am showing and press it to the center. Make another pleat and stick it to the pleat earlier made. This way, make more pleats until the side is completely sealed. Make sure to press it well so they don't open up while steaming. If the wrapper does not stick, apply a thin layer of water to the inner side of the wrapper and then stick it. Now fold the other half, making pleats in the opposite direction. And the two-sided moon fold momo is ready to be steamed. Similarly, fill all the wrappers, and while filling one momo, remember to keep the other momos covered. At this stage, you could just steam the momos, or if you want to store them for the future, then you place these on a plate covered with cling wrapper and freeze them until it is completely frozen solid. Once they are frozen, transfer them to a Ziploc bag and freeze it until you are ready to make the momos. Momos are not a very quick recipe, which is why I always make them in lots and store them this way. While I did steam some immediately the day I folded the momos, this time I wanted to show you guys how I am making the momos once it was frozen. So for that, again onto a plate covered with cling wrap, place the frozen momos and let them thaw at room temperature. While that's thawing, take a deep pot and add 1 liter of water and set it aside to boil. Let's make the momo chutney while the momos are getting ready. For the momo chutney, here are the ingredients needed. Soak the red chilies in water so they become soft and easier to grind. Set a pot of water to boil. Score the tomatoes at the bottom and add them to the boiling water. Let this boil for a minute or two. You should be able to see the skin peeling off already. At this stage, remove the tomatoes and peel the skin off completely. Let's also remove the pit of the tomato, also known as the sepal. Chop the tomatoes roughly and add it to a mixer jar. Add the soaked dry red chilies and grind it to a smooth paste. Take a pan and add a tablespoon of oil and fry the finely chopped garlic and ginger. Add the onions and saute till it turns transparent. Next, add the ground tomato chili paste and some water and let this come to a boil. Add salt as per taste, 1 teaspoon each of chili flakes, soy sauce and tomato sauce. Mix them well and let it simmer and thicken up. And that's it. The spicy red chutney for the momos is ready. Now on to our final step of steaming the momos. The water is ready and boiling. Place the steamer pot and spread a thin layer of oil to prevent the momos from sticking. The momos will become bigger when cooking and has a very high tendency to stick to each other. So while placing the momos in the steamer, make sure to space them out well. Steam the momos for 15 minutes or just until they turn transparent. Turn the stove off before opening the lid. Steam can leave severe burns, so be very careful and open the lid away from yourself. Remove the momos and serve them hot with the momo chutney and mayonnaise. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this recipe and will give it a try. Please like, share and comment to let me know how it turned out. Don't forget to subscribe to The Curious Palate for more such amazing recipes. and click on that bell icon so you don't miss another update. Bye bye. Stay home and stay safe.